Hi guys, welcome back. It's Tommy with another Starcraft Remastered replay cast from the South Korean ladder, and once again a game with Flash versus another South Korean pro here. So he's spawning in the lower right as the red Protoss with a numeric code here, so very interesting player here we have. And in the lower left, in the purple, it is Flash with his AK, with his barcode, and of course a small hint from the thumbnail. Flash is going to be having quite a hard game here in between him and his opponent. You can see of course some great storms will be casted here by this Protoss pro versus Flash. Is it going to be enough to have him the victory here versus his opponent? We're about to find out, as we are once again on 4 spawning location map. We see the production tab here in the upper left part, and we are going to be looking at their build orders very soon, just like we do in the previous replays. And I believe with this replay right here I might be closing towards the 100 replays from Flash onto this channel. So very nice games here from Flash. Let's see, we do have around a 20 to 22 minute game here, so it's not really going to be a timing push now, isn't it? As I've casted so many timing pushes here from Flash, and they were around 12 to 13 minutes here. So let's just see exactly what is going to happen here, who's going to be the victor of this interesting game, as we have Flash opening up standardly with the supply depot, once again leaving a gap here in between the minerals and the supply depot, and there we have the barracks for him as he's scouting. SCV is also moving out, so the pretty standard build order, just like he has shown us in previous replays versus the Protoss. Nothing has changed here. The Protoss in the meantime going also for a normal build order, not deciding to go for a fast expansion. Nexus first, he's actually going for pylon into gateway, assimilator, and there is his cybernetic score. So also a standard build order by him, not sending out a scouting probe yet, as Flash is moving towards the upper left part to scout them. Let's see, no gas here for Flash. He might go for a expansion. He's actually saving quite a large number of minerals, as he's now going for his other supply depot, but still large amounts of minerals are saved by him. So let's just see what exactly his next plans are, as the Protoss decides to go for another pylon, and very soon I think he's going to be going for his first dragoons. So no zealots for him, straight towards dragoons, as Flash now continues with his SCV and actually deciding to indeed expand here. So no factory for him, no gas for him, straight towards the expansion after the other supply depot. Let's have a look at the Protoss once again. Now he's sending out his probe, but I believe he's also saving for a Nexus, so the SCV is very likely going to scout this as well. So indeed a Nexus here for the Protoss, with a Dragoon already popping out here for him, so the SCV will already take some damage. Flash might have to send another SCV in order to find out exactly what the Protoss is up to into his main, as a robotics facility might continue here for the Protoss, so he might add another one. He might even cancel this expansion right here and go straight for a robotics facility here into his main. And now in comes the scouting probe, but the bunker is very likely going to finish in time. So with that, Flash of course securing his expansion. There we have the upgrade for the Dragoons. So yeah, also pretty standard stuff here for the Protoss versus the opponent. Let's see, only one Dragoon is moving out. Perhaps he's going to try to be lucky once again to snipe another SCV, or perhaps a Marine. Or he's just going to secure this zone right here just to see if it's going to be a push out by Flash. There we have the factory from Flash. Gas has also been finished here by him. So let's see what is going to happen, as we actually have a quite greedy move out here by the Protoss, but I guess he was just scouting the map for any proxy factories, given the fact that he didn't see anything here into the main from Flash. And there we have a second factory for him. Protoss with a quite greedy gameplay at around the 4-minute mark. Is he going to go for another expansion? This might force Flash once again to go for a timing push. It's 2 Dragoons only out here for the Protoss, as the game continues with both players pretty much at the same worker amount, and still only 1 gateway here for the Protoss, as he's now going for his robotics facility bay. So we might see some harassment by him, we might see some shuttle gameplay, we might see some reavers, could be also some high templar drops. Just have a look how the game is going to continue, as indeed Flash is sending out a second SCV into a hidden route to avoid the Dragoons right here. So very smart movement here by Flash, as he's now moving forward, and he is going to see the robotics facility bay. With that, he is very likely going to be going for some turrets to defend his home. In the meantime, the Dragoons, of course, attacking here the bunker. But this SCV, of course, very important here for Flash, as he's now starting his engineering bay. We also have the observatory here for the Protoss as the action continues here onto the map. There we have the siege tank, and siege tank ability is also getting done here by Flash. So very soon, of course, this tank is going to be in range versus the Dragoons, and with that the harassment pretty much going to be finished here, as speed will also be has also started now here for the Vultures. 3 more gateways here for the Protoss into his main. Let's see what this robotics facility is going to be doing. Perhaps a observer first, and yeah, the siege tank, of course, now in range for the Dragoons. A very smart and a fast micro here by the Protoss, deciding to retreat with his Dragoons. And with that, of course, Flash is going to be able to secure his expansion, as there we have another expansion here by the Protoss. So quite a greedy gameplay, like I told you. Flash should, of course, know about this. His SCV has been sniped, but he might send out some Vultures with some speed, and with that he is very likely going to be forced once again to go for a factory push by him at around the 9-minute mark. Even goes for an armory right here, so more units are getting produced here for both players. 4 Dragoons, 2 more Vultures here for Flash, as we have a small stalemate onto the map. But yeah, in comes Flash with his speeding Vultures, and he might be lucky here to snipe a probe or two, as the Vultures are now moving forward, going straight towards the expansion point right here. And yeah, now Flash finally sees it. So mines have also been planted here by him. Let's see if he's going to be lucky. There's a very smart gameplay here by the Protoss, only sending out 1 Dragoon in the front in order to soak up the mines. So very smart gameplay here indeed. And a great defense here also by the Protoss, as the observer is going to now give vision against the mines. Also this very smart SimCity build order here by the Protoss, as he has now blocked the entrance. And with that, let's just have a look at the reaction from Flash. Let's just look into his main. Is he going perhaps for more factories? Now should be the time, but actually no, he's deciding to go for another expansion here. So he's playing it quite safe. Very hard for him to deal damage towards the economy right here from the opponent, as those Dragoons are very nicely spread out here onto the map. So very good game here by the Protoss, and Flash, interesting enough, deciding not to punish this game. He's actually deciding to play it more safe, going for another expansion here at the 9 o'clock position. And now the Dragoons are also moving out here for the Protoss, trying of course to snipe the mines onto the ground. We have some siege tanks here moving forward for Flash in order to secure his other expansions, as the Protoss is also scouting here nicely the map and also expanding perhaps very soon into the 3 o'clock position. So if Flash allows this mass expanding strategy by the Protoss, it's going to be very hard for him to come back into the game, as the economy from the opponent is going to be quite overwhelming. We already see him with 3 more workers versus Flash, as now the observer is going to be able to get vision onto the expansion from Flash. So yeah, very nice macro oriented game, as we will pass the 10-minute mark very soon here by both players. Let's just see how the game is going to unfold here, what exactly the next steps are going to be, as more and more workers are getting added here for the Protoss. He's at 63 workers already, and yeah, he just keeps on scouting the map. So playing very nicely, very defensively. Only mass Dragoons for him, no Zealots, and we actually see speed now getting done for him. There is the shuttle, there is the Reaver, so speed for the shuttle, very important spell to have. And yet another expansion here by him. So the Protoss just keeps on expanding all over the map. Let's just see if his shuttle gameplay is going to be good here onto the map versus Flash. He is going straight for the newly established base here at the 9 o'clock position, sorry. And yeah, Flash just keeps on adding more and more tanks. Let's have a look at the upgrades. Still 0-0 for him. Same can be said here for the Protoss, as the Protoss also moving out with a nice group of Dragoons forward towards the newly established base by Flash. So let's just see how this is going to work out. Some tanks, of course, should be added here by Flash. Interesting enough, he has no defenses here into this location, so perhaps a small mistake here by Flash. Only a Vulture is moving here forward, as the drop with the Reaver might happen very soon. So a little bit of an exposed expansion right here. There's the Reaver getting dropped. Some connection could be done here by him. 62 workers for Flash. 63, so no casualties for the workers as the tanks now in range to defend versus the Dragoons. And of course this small gap is working against the Protoss, as the tanks of course will be able to deal so much splash damage against the Dragoons right here. And yeah, let's see how the game is going to continue. Sadly here for the Protoss, not really making a difference here, not sniping any workers, but it looks like he's not done. Speed has been done here for the shuttle. In comes the drop with one Dragoon. Very good micro here indeed, saving the Reaver, not targeting the workers, as at the same time more and more workers are actually getting transferred here. But the real action is of course happening here into this location. There are so many turrets here for Flash, and he should of course be able to hold, but with this shuttle gameplay he's of course forced to stay back and defend. In the meantime, like I told you, more and more workers are getting transferred here, but as you can see the worker count is pretty much the same here for both players. So it's still a balanced game, still anyone's game of course. The Protoss taking some casualties as he's moving now out, and a very late speed for the Zealots upgrade for him. So interesting enough, Flash deciding to play it more defensively, not moving out with his army, even though his supply is looking really strong, and economic wise is also looking very good here. This one shuttle still in position to drop the Reaver versus the SCVs here, but a very hurt Reaver indeed. Well, let's just see what's going to happen. Once again, the position from the Protoss is really good into the middle of the map, securing the zone right here, not really allowing a movement out by Flash, as weapons 1 and 2, actually already weapon 2 and armor 1 is going to also get done here by Flash. So very nice positioning here by the Protoss with his Dragoons, spotting every move out here by the Terran, and also very nicely mass nexus expansion strategy here by the Protoss, which is interesting enough not getting punished here by Flash. So unusual defensive gameplay here by Flash. Perhaps he's tired. Usually he's very aggressive moving out, and now finally he's slowly but steadily moving out, but I believe he's also going to try to secure his expansion right here. In the meantime also some vultures are moving out here onto the map. We see lots and lots of movement here onto the map. 3 shuttles here for the Protoss, Zealots and Zealots with Reavers right here, as he's retreating a little bit, perhaps allowing Flash to move out onto the map. Let's just see what those vultures can do versus the Dragoons right here. And yeah, the Dragoons actually very well here versus the opponent, but actually a great drop happening here into this location. 81 workers here for Flash. He's defending really nicely, so interesting enough his SCVs haven't been hurt. So nice stuff here by the Protoss, but actually Flash not taking casualties economic wise. The SCVs are still alive. They've been nicely microed here by him, and Dragoons are still clearing the mines right there. But the real action of course happened right here with the triple drop happening for the Protoss, but Flash with a great defense. He did take some damage towards his buildings, but important enough for him, 81 workers are still alive, so not taking casualties when it comes to his economy. And those turrets also were very good, taking out a couple of those shuttles in the air. So the Protoss might try to think about a different strategy right here. Perhaps some carriers, perhaps some arbiter gameplay would be a great idea into the late game, as now the defense is once again up and running here for Flash, as he's adding more and more turrets into this location. So yeah, a failed attack here by the Protoss, as Flash now at 83 workers versus the only 70 here for the Protoss. But the macro game could kick in very soon, but hold on, we actually have a movement out here by the Protoss as he's moving forward with his high templars this time. So high templars in the shuttle, dealing more and more damage. The Zealots are also nicely in the front, soaking up so much damage. So very good attack this time by the Protoss. Flash of course having to split his troops. He has to defend the expansion at the same time now. Tank after tank is getting snapped, so very good position here for the Protoss, which has got me even off guard here. So nice job by him, and a great victory actually here for the Protoss, as Flash has to bring his reinforcements, perhaps has to bring some tanks from the different expansions right here, as this expansion has taken quite some damage. So with that, Flash dropping to 76 workers, also supply wise dropping, and now the, like I told you, the macro game from the Protoss might kick in very soon. He has double Reavers right here, even double robotics facility base, so he can pump out shuttles and Reavers as he wishes, and also having an expansion right here. So very nice macro oriented game all of a sudden. So Flash in behind in supply right here. The Protoss pretty much in control of the majority here off to the map, even having some cannons right here. This shuttle is still into this location with the Reaver not participating into the game currently. But yeah, Flash now establishing some defenses. He still has a good economy. Not that many defenses right here, as another shuttle is moving here forward with some zealots this time at the second shuttle right here, and there we have the storms dealing so much splash damage, and that is a huge attack here for the Protoss. 10 more workers have been sniped here, so Flash losing more and more workers. What a great movement here forward, sacrificing of course the shuttles and the High Templars and the zealots, but in the end for the greater good here for the Protoss, as his enemy, as Flash has dropped to 72 workers now. It's getting very harder and harder here for Flash to defend, as he's trying of course to move forward with his vultures, but there's so many cannons here, a couple of dragoons defending, so the defenses look very great here for the Protoss. As let's just see how the game is going to continue here, as the tanks now into the position right here, greatly defending. The vultures are taking more and more damage, even the zealots are getting some good connections here, as slowly but steadily we go towards the end of this game. So the Protoss actually looking very good. Flash coming back into supply, having now 117 versus the maxed out Protoss. So the Protoss is very likely going to be going for some more upgrades right here. He has weapons on upgrade, he's going for more Templar energy and Scarab damage. At the same time there's a movement here forward by the Protoss into this ramp, so this ramp could work of course against him, but we do once again have a double shuttle attack here with the zealots, and now the High Templars will of course the real damage dealers. There it is, another double storm here, and the SCVs are getting stormed, so everything is clumped up together here for Flash as he's taking more and more damage. Sadly a very bad position here for him, all of his tanks were clumped up together, the SCVs also taking some damage, and now the Dragoons can just move here forward, snapping perhaps more units here from Flash. Great reaction with the defensive metrics, finally a good position here all of a sudden here for Flash, as this tank is of course soaking up so much damage, but there's still so many Dragoons being left alive, as Flash is up floating a command center towards a different position, and more damage is being taken left and right here. Still a very interesting game. Flash is holding on, so all of a sudden he has the same worker amount as his opponent. And yeah, he's able to secure this expansion right here. He wants to expand once again, but in the meantime there's so many expansions for the Protoss, as he just keeps on sending out units after units with one weapons upgrade. And yeah, let's see how the game is going to continue. Is Flash going to be perhaps going to come back to be maxed out or close to be maxed out versus the great macro game? In the meantime he just wants to secure another expansion right here, so very smart gameplay by him, as the Protoss still in control of the majority here of the map, and the vultures of course try to secure now the tanks. The tanks will of course be the real damage dealers towards the cannons and towards the newly established base here from the opponent. So all of a sudden Flash into a good position, his expansion is secured, he's moving forward towards the newly base. In the meantime the Protoss reacting, going also here for the expansion. So there we have to drop a great tactic here by the Protoss, looking up the mines and clearing the way for all of the Protoss units right here as they're moving forward. The zealots are in the front, some siege tanks are now sieging up, but the great storm once again has been casted here. The High Templar is still alive, as the tanks are now in siege mode and the zealots are moving forward, so he is taking more and more damage. The zealots in a great position, the second storm really great. In the meantime we do have a counter attack here in the upper left part with the tanks, with the vultures here from Flash, but he's taking so much more damage here from the High Templar. Sadly for him, he's not really being able to snipe the High Templars, as the Protoss just keeps on moving forward, and now we finally even have an Archon right here, so it's very nice to see once again a transition into those Archons. Very strong unit, as storm after storm is getting casted here for the Protoss, and he's still moving forward against the tanks. And yeah, very nice sacrificial High Templars here in the front, as there we have the Archon. Let's just check the upper left part. Finally Flash is being able to take the zone right there, as we have great storms once again being casted here, so one storm after the other, as those SCVs are really hurt here, so a couple of zealots can even take them out. We have even some action happening here. Flash is losing more and more of a supply, finally nicely microing those tanks, but there's so much splash damage out of those High Templars, and all of those SCVs are really hurt, so a shuttle with a High Templar once again can deal so much damage. A good victory here for Flash in the upper left part, but yeah, the Protoss just ignores that and expands onto another location right here, and this shuttle still out of the game, but he could do a risky drop right here. In the meantime we do have a movement out here by the Protoss, and we actually see double arbiters by him. Let's check his upgrades very quickly, and then let's just check Flash's upgrades. 2 to 3 very good upgrades here for the Terran. So Flash looking really strong with his upgrades. As now we do see indeed the movement forward, and the Reaver is actually sniping the tank right here, as he could be able to take out so many workers. 51 workers, 47, as Flash is dropping more and more into the supply. Only the vultures will be able to take this out. But yeah, Flash all of a sudden dropping to 47 supply right here. And here comes the push from the Protoss with the Arbiters in the front, taking quite some damage. Great EMP shockwave, and once again a great Stasis trap here by the Protoss with a High Templar Storm. So Stasis trap into High Templar Storm here by the Protoss, as another storm has been casted here by him, as more and more damage is being taken here by Flash, and Flash could actually lose this game right here, as the Protoss just keeps on pushing forward versus all of his units, and there is indeed the GG out. So very painful High Templar Storms here, as the Protoss was able to take this game. A greedy gameplay here by the Protoss that has not been punished by Flash, and now Flash, sadly for him, losing this game, decided to play it more safe with the expansion right here, but in the end the macro game by the Protoss kicked in, and he was able to just slowly but steadily inflict economic damage towards his opponent, and with that he was able to take this game quite convincingly, even though he had no real good upgrades for him, Flash having 2 to 3. And yeah, Flash, sadly for him, losing this game. So very interesting long game. I always like the fact when it's longer games than 10 to 12 minutes, and Flash, interesting enough, losing this game, played it too much safe, and those High Templar Storm really hurt his economy and his supply also. I saw so many tanks have been hit by the High Templar Storm. Let's just check the stats very quickly in case you guys are interested. A very good game here by this Protoss. Sadly, I don't know who he is. Perhaps you guys know who he is. A very good game by him, and his macro game, his greedy gameplay this time has not been punished by Flash with a timing push, and perhaps in the next game Flash is going to rethink his gameplay when seeing that the Protoss is going for so many expansions onto the map. So yeah, still a very good game, a nice back and forward game, but way too much defensive gameplay here by Flash, and the Protoss taking control of the game, having so many units all around the map, having also so many shuttles, giving him the opportunity, of course, to inflict good damage versus the opponent. And yeah, a very good game. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed. This is your host Tommy, signing out.